My name is Hina Maihara, 32. I work at an office. Today, I'm going to tell you about the uproar at work. I work for a venture company. I joined the company when I was 27, so I've been working here for 5 years. We deal in office furniture and interior items. In the past few years, sales have been improving quite well. I'm the head of the sales department. It might sound impressive to be the head of a department in one's 30s, but there are only 5 people in our sales department, including me. Positively put, we're a select few. That's why I worked on the front despite being in a managerial position. Because of that, I think Mr. Kawakami, the company president, trusts me. I won't deny that I'm very busy, but all in all, it's a good place to work. The employees are open with each other, creating an at-home atmosphere. However, one day, while I was at work early in the morning, I received a call. I thought it was weird to receive a call at such an early hour. It was very shocking news. The company president collapsed on the way to work and was brought to the hospital. It was a call from his wife. According to the doctor's diagnosis, he was very sick and needs surgery, but said not to worry as he has a solid chance of recovery. The next day, when I went to visit him, "Are you all right? You can leave the company up to me while you recover," I said in an attempt to cheer him up, but...
About that, I was thinking of retiring when I heal.
Come to think of it, he's at an age at which he could retire. It might be inevitable, but... So who will take over as president? I asked, as to which he replied,
I'm thinking of letting my son, Arata, take over my position. He and I were talking about it before this happened.
He replied, so I reported to my immediate subordinate, Nane. He said, but, do you know what his son is like?
Was it about 5 years ago when you joined the company?
Right.
Actually, his son Arata worked for this company 6 years ago.
Really? Why did he leave?
As you know, our company management at that time was in a bad shape, so he left the company saying that he'll go into another business.
So he got out of this company as fast as he could. I wonder if it's too okay to make someone like him the successor.
I wonder. Our president is a good person, but he has a soft spot for his son.
I see. Do you know where his son went after leaving the company?
I don't know the details, but I heard that he's in the health equipment business.
Did he start a company?
I don't think so, but I'm sorry, that's all I know.
I see, thank you. By the way, you two worked together, right? What kind of a person was he?
Well, he was hardworking, but he was a pain in the ass and he was quite annoying.
You sound bitter about him. I'm getting a bad feeling about this more and more. Worried, our conversation ended. The next day, the new president came.
I look forward to working with you. Just call me Arata.
Contrary to his father, he looks and talks flippantly, but his speech was quite...
I want to grow the company more than my dad did when he was in charge. That's why I want all of you to follow me.
He seems to be ambitious, but it's as if his enthusiasm is going in a strange direction.
I'd like to show you something,
he said and took something out of his bag. It was something that looked like a mechanical coaster. I didn't know at that time, but that strange thing would, later on, create a tremendous commotion. It was a hydrogen water generator, a machine to make an ordinary water into hydrogen water. It's not uncommon nowadays, but what's worth mentioning is its price. Despite its small size, it costs $1,000. When he explained that, I interjected a question. What should we do with that machine? To which he confidently answered,
Of course we're going to sell it. The product is great, so you shouldn't have so much trouble selling it.
So we ended up selling the product. Again, I have a bad feeling about this. How was it?
I couldn't do it.
I see. The president of that company is quite health conscious. So I thought we had a chance, but...
He didn't seem disinterested in the product, but the price is too high.
Right, $1,000 is too high.
Also, it's hard to tell the difference from other products.
Right? Honestly, I don't really know too.
Me too. That training we had doesn't make any sense. Just when I thought that everyone in the sales department was gathered, he taught us about the machine.
That might be important in selling the product, but
there were too many technical terms that I didn't really understand. We don't understand. What more are the customers?
You're right.
Even if I can see that I'm entirely in the wrong, time spent for the training was a waste.
Right, I understand. I'm really sorry for that.
No, you're not at fault at all. I was just wondering why there's a need to hold it every day after work.
I'm negotiating with the president about that. I asked him to hold it at least during working hours.
What's his reply?
Please don't expect.
Please take it easy, okay?
Just as expected, sales were quite painstaking. I guess it can't be helped. Although we know how to sell interior furniture, we had no experience selling health-related products. Besides, it's too expensive, so it's not something one can just buy easily to try it out. Of course, our company president complained about the sales.
Hey, what's wrong? I heard that you know how to do your job. I'm disappointed.
Of course, I was pissed off. Because of that, I was determined to sell the product no matter what. I was determined more than ever and did my best to sell the product. I even held a private meeting among my circle and developed a strategy. Months later, I was able to somehow achieve our sales goal. Everyone was exhausted, but no one can complain about the result. Hearing the good news, the president was painfully in a good mood.
See? I knew you can do it. Let's aim higher next time.
He said with impunity, without knowing the hardships we went through. Whether we achieved the goals or not, he was irritating. One morning, that day I also went to work early. When I arrived at the office... What?
What the hell is this about?
What do you mean?
The hydrogen water generator. It's crazy to stop selling when business is going so well, and return requests are flooding in.
You're on a business trip in the countryside, but news travels fast, doesn't it?
Of course, it's about my company. I have eyes and ears all over. Don't change the topic. Explain to me what's going on.
When I arrived at the office, the machine that I use as a tester malfunctioned.
Malfunction?
It was smoking heavily, even when I didn't do anything to it. If I wasn't there, there could have been a fire. Perhaps there were other products that may have such dangers, so I hurriedly informed the clients to return the products. Because of the urgency of the situation, my report to you is delayed.
I understand what's going on, but so what?
Huh?
It just happened that one product was defective. I can't believe you asked all products to be returned just because of that!
But it was smoking despite doing nothing to it. It would be outrageous. If there were to be a fire at a client's company, we need to be cautious.
This kind of self-indulgence is unacceptable. Since you're the president, please have a decent sense of risk. Anyway, we'll talk about this when I get back. Brace yourself.
Then, when he arrived from the business trip, we argued. However, we couldn't reach an agreement.
If you can't do as I say, you're fired. I don't care if you sue me.
He ran out of patience and threatened to fire me. I see. Are you sure? You can't take back what you said.
There's no way I'm taking back what I said. There's plenty of people who can take your place.
So I walked away. Several days later.
Hey, did you reflect on what you did?
Huh?
If you've reflected on what you've done, and you're going to apologize formally, I might change my mind.
I haven't reflected, nor will I apologize to you. You don't have to hire me back. That's all. Are you satisfied?
No, you don't have to rush your decision. I've thought about what happened and realized that I was a bit wrong.
A bit?
That's why I'm suggesting that we apologize to each other and start all over again.
The way I heard it earlier was that you will hire me back if I apologize to you.
That's not what I meant. It's hard to find a new job these days, right? You'll have an easier time if you come back to our company.
Why don't you just say the truth? Your father scolded you, right? Because you fired me?
Why didn't you tell me in the first place? That you're just an ordinary sales manager.
It's not something I should say on my own. I didn't tell you because I thought that it might complicate the chain of command.
Anyway, my father told me to hire you back no matter what.
Understood.
Thank you.
However, I will go back provided that you apologize. Please come to our house if you want me back. Actually, the former president, Mr. Kawakami, and my dad are old acquaintances. I'd say they were best friends. Mr. Kawakami adored me since I was young. He treated me like his niece. Our company is in good standing now, but it was tough when we first started. At one point, the company was on the verge of bankruptcy. My father was the one who saved the company. He's now retired, but he used to be the president of the company to improve the sales slump. My father requested that I join Mr. Kawakami's company. Since I studied business in the US, I was asked to help rebuild the business. We somehow managed to rebuild the business, and I became the head of the sales department. In other words, I was positioned to add a benefactor to the company. It seems that the current president got a big kick in the pants from the former president. Then, he came to my house and...
I apologize for what I've done. Please come back to our company.
He reluctantly apologized, so I agree. The next day, we went back to work. I'm sorry, but from this day forward, I will be in charge of this company. You're fired. He froze at my sudden announcement.
You're kidding, right? It's true. I asked her to do it. Father?
After Arato's apology, Mr. Kawakami came. Actually, having doubts about the hydrogen water generator, I searched for the product after getting fired. Though cleverly concealed, I found out that the company making the product was an MLM. What's more is that it's a vicious startup that takes a fraudulent approach. Our president was in bed with that company. How it worked was that if he sells that machine at our company, he'll receive an incentive. Of course, there's no way that this approach is approved. I also took the machine to a specialist to have it looked at, but it turns out that it doesn't produce hydrogen and that it has no effect on the water at all. That's why I went to Mr. Kawakami and explained everything to him. We talked about it a lot and they ended up taking over the company. And today, he came to work just to realize that it was his last day at the office. When I made the announcement, everyone gave him a lot of flack. But despite that, he shamelessly asked his father,
Father, I'm sorry. I was wrong. Please give me one more chance. I will never do it again.
He was trying to get by with a lame apology, but
Stupid son.
Mr. Kawakami exploded with anger. He was kicked out of the company and at the same time, his relations with his father were cut off. Moreover, I told the police about the MLM company, and he was taken away by the police along with the executives of the company. As for me, I'm having a hectic day as a new company president. But despite that, I enjoy it and feel fulfilled every day.